let's look at this question of trigonometry. Remember that in trigonometry, there are three subtopics that we deal with in P1. The first one is identities. Second one is sketches of sine, cos, and tangent. And of course, its transformation. And the third topic is about solving either conceptual questions and or questions related with trigonometric equations. They could be in degrees, they could be in radians. So currently, we are discussing questions of trigonometric equation, one particular question of trigonometric equation in degrees. How do I know that this question is in degrees? Because the range says so. Theta lies between 0 and 360 degrees inclusive. We have to solve this equation. Let's start working. Now, in this particular question, we will use the identity sine square theta plus cos square theta equals to 1. Since sine theta cannot be simplified, I have to simplify cos square theta. So therefore, cos square is 1 minus sine square. Replace it back. Expand, simplify. What will you get? You will get a quadratic equation which in 99% of the cases can easily be solved using middle term factorization. I never solve an equation in which the coefficient of x square is negative, so I multiply throughout. Over here, sine theta is like x square. Sine theta is like x, and the constant definitely is a constant. Constant can't be changed. If I do the middle term factorization, and if I break it up, I simplify it, and what do I get? 2 sine theta bracket sine theta plus 2 minus 1 bracket sine theta plus 2. It's necessary, keep that in mind, this main thing. It's necessary that these two brackets should come out to be the same if middle term factorization is done correctly. These two will definitely come out to be the same. That is why I am taking sine theta plus 2 common. Bracket 2 sine theta minus 1 equals to 0. 2 brackets multiplying to give you 0. That means either one of them is 0. Therefore, sine theta comes out to be half. Sine theta comes out to be minus 2. The second part is not applicable because the maximum value of sine is 1. Minimum value of sine is minus 1. Maximum value of cosine is 1. Minimum value is minus 1. Maximum value of tangent is positive infinity. Negative infinity is the minimum value of tangent. When I want to solve sine theta equals to half, I have to take care of the quadrant. It's in the first and the second quadrant. I should always calculate the basic angle. Let basic angle be alpha. What's the definition of basic angle? The acute angle with x-axis. So alpha comes out to be 30 degrees. Therefore, theta is alpha in the first quadrant. 180 minus alpha is in the second quadrant. So the first part is done. Now, let's keep aside the second question and let's move to some other question all of a sudden. Of course, there should be a reason to it. It's just I'm creating a little bit of suspense. Cos theta equals to half. If I want to solve this equation, it's in the first and the fourth quadrant. You can work in your head. Basic angle would be 60 degrees. Theta is alpha, theta is 60, theta is 360 minus alpha, theta is 300. Now, if suddenly I change the coefficient of theta to 2 theta, the question is almost the same. Instead of cos theta, we have cos 2 theta equals to half. Will my first and the second step change? The answer is no. Will my range of values of theta change? Definitely yes. Theta lies between 0 and 360. Therefore, if I'm working in 2 theta, for example, I'll multiply the endpoints. That will be 0 to 720. For example, if I want to work in terms of 3 theta, 3 times 0 is still 0. And this would be 1080. Now keep this in mind. So now this thing is changed. That means I'm talking about 2 revolutions. So therefore, 2 theta is equals to 60 and 300. That's for the first revolution. The first quadrant angle can again be reached if I go one more revolution. One more revolution means 360. So 60 plus 360, 420. 300 plus 360, that is 660. Now these four answers, they all are equal to 2 theta. So therefore, theta is 30, 150, 210 and 660 divided by 2 is 330 degrees. Now let me show you one more thing, because some people, they forget this concept. That is, if I draw an X and a Y quadrant over here, a grid, and this one is, let me mark this thing in blue, this is the first angle and this is the other angle. Now this thing is 60 degrees. If I go one more revolution and come about this point, that is 60 plus 360, which is 420. So this is 60 and this is 420. Similarly, this angle was 300. If I go one more revolution, 300 plus 360 is 660. So that is this one and that is this one. So it's good that you draw a diagram, but as such, it's not part of the working. You can get away with the diagram provided your concepts are clear. Or we can say it this way. Initially, you drew a lot of diagram. Your concept becomes clear and then you can skip on the diagram. What do you think is my next question? Again, playing around with the coefficient, cos 3 theta equals to half. My first step is the same. My second step is the same. 3 theta lies between 0 and 1080. Look at this corner over here. This is what I'm referring to. Now, your working is 60, 300, 60 plus 360, 300 plus 360. And then to 420, you add a 360. To 660, you add a 360. And this is what you get. You get 4 answers, actually 6 answers. Theta is each angle divided by 3. So you get 30, 150, 210, 330, 260 and 340 degrees. The final answer in each example lies between 0 and 360. There are 3 examples. The black example, the rust color and the blue color. Now, what is the observation over here? This I am preparing you for the second part. That is, if the coefficient increases, the number of answer increases, but each answer is divided by that coefficient. Listen to it again. In the first question, cos theta is half, there were 2 answers. When I was talking about 2 revolutions, I am getting 4 answers. 3 theta, 3 revolutions, I am getting 6 answers. Of course, there are exceptions if the answers are at the end points. We will deal with that in some other question. Now, when I have 2 becoming 4 and 4 becoming 6, compared to the original, it's tripled. Compare second question to the first one, it's doubled. But each answer is also reduced. This is that thing. When you draw a graph on the horizontal axis, the number of cycles are compressed. Sin theta, 1 cycle in 360. Cos theta, 1 cycle in 360. Cos 2 theta, 2 cycles in 360. Cos 3 theta, 3 cycles in 360. So therefore, the number of solution increases, but each solution is divided by that value. Now let's look at this question. First of all, we solved part 1. I'm writing it over here. 2 cos square theta is 3 sin theta. That became sin theta equals 2.5. Therefore, theta is 30 and theta is 150. Correct? Now, this was the first one. If now the question is 2 cos square n theta equals to 3 sin n theta, therefore, after simplification, it would become sin n theta equals 2.5. And now the coefficient has changed. Link it with the previous one. And now they are saying there are many answers and the smallest answer is 10 degrees. Now, how come the very first answer of 30 degree became 10 degree? By what factor it's divided? So without any calculation or maybe minimal calculation, I can say 30 divided by something is becoming 10. 30 divided by 3 will make it 10. Therefore, the value of n is 3. So some people would write it this way. Some people need a little bit more push. So what I can do is that I can say n theta is 30. Basically, the answer came out to be 30 because it was the same original equation. But the value of theta is 30 degrees divided by n. 30 is 10 degrees. Therefore, n comes out to be 3. So it depends on what your approach is. Basically, since you increase the coefficient of theta, that many solution would be there. And each solution would be divided by 3. So the smallest answer in the original question was 30. The smallest answer in the modified question of part 2 is 10. How did 30 became 10? It's not by subtraction, it's by division. So it's by a scale factor of 3. I can use the word scale factor. Now, since n is 3, that means originally there were 2 answers. How many answers will I have? Now I'll have 6 answers. Sine 3 theta equals 2.5. This explanation is for your own good. This is not part of the examination as such. It's not part of that answer. I'm solving it completely. 3 theta lies between 0 and 1080. Basic angle is 30 degrees. Therefore, in the first quadrant, 30, 150, 30 plus 360, 150 plus 360, 390 plus 360, 510 plus 360. Therefore, now there are 6 answers and each answer will be divided by 3. What is the largest value? 870. But 870 is not theta. 870 is 3 theta. Therefore, the largest value is 870 divided by 3. That will come out to be 290 degrees. So the final answer in this scenario, what the examiner asked, state the value of theta. That is done. That comes out to be 3. And then it says find the largest solution of this equation in the interval 0 to 360. So that largest solution is 290 degrees. So that was a trick question. I hope you enjoyed it.